memory, or at least my earliest memory, is we were born and raised in the Irish American Club on the East Side, and so as a little kid, I'd go into the club. On the way in, my dad would listen to Irish music, Daniel O'Donnell, Wolf Tones, all those guys. So in the car, we listened to music. Once we got to the club, and because he was one of the original guys, him, Jerry Quinn, a few of the other guys. And so as a kid, I grew up hanging around there. We'd be cleaning the club, listening to Irish music, and then Dad would take me everywhere. Any festival, any gig. Our sisters, the Irish danced for Sheila Murphy. So as kids, we remember going to Fesh's in Cleveland, Detroit, but yeah, really being around my dad, and he would always talk about his grandparents or about his parents, and Irish has always been in our blood. So, it's having the family businesses and being there as a family, in all of our businesses. You go down the street to Fiona's, you'll see my sister down there right now. Her daughter's working down there. You go into the Wild Goose, you got Seamus in there cooking, our cousin's in there bar backing. So right there, you got 4 family members there. If you come on down there, it feels so good on social distancing, even though we're not social distancing. But, the thing that we take pride in is it's all family. A good friend of ours, going to the funeral business, a good friend of ours passed away last night, Chris Wensler, and my brother and I, we went to the house, and to see the people, our friends' faces when they saw we were at the house picking up their loved one. And that's what makes all of our business special.
From high school, it was to work with Dad and go to local college, Lakeland, and when I was working with Dad, and we ended up getting into the restaurant business. This was back in 2000.
Yeah.
I think is when we started Mix, and from there, I went and I became a police officer for 5 years. I actually worked at Lakeland College Police Department, just from a lot of our clientele that came into Mix at that time, and McPat went off to become a fireman. And then everything just kind of fell back to the restaurants. We love it. You're around new people every day. You get to, we see people in their highs and their lows, and that's great. I love it. Yeah, I do. Even as tough as it is now with COVID going on, I love it. I love, and it's so funny. We were saying the other day, there was a guy came in here 2 mornings ago, and it was for one of the early games, the 7 o'clock game, the Premier League. And the guy sat in the chair and he put his arms up and he goes, "Yes." And I'm like, "What's going on?" And he goes, "I haven't been out since the day 1 of COVID." He goes, "I've been looking forward to this day where I could come to Nora's and watch a game." And he sat there and he had his pint, and it was awesome. But we love it. We love the business. It's a big family though. We have, at the 3 places, we have a lot of staff, and we always say that we work together. We look at that more than our bosses, or than us being their boss, and the staff makes it great.
So Beer with the Lads. So we actually were together with our dad. We were out having some. We were out out and about. We were at home actually, and we were just out sitting having a beer. And it was my dad's idea. He came up. He's like, "You guys should do a live video feed, and just talk about local stuff going on, and talk about your bars while everyone's stuck at home." So that's what we did. So usually you'll see all 3 of us on the Beer with the Lads, or you might just see 2 of us on there. But what it is it keeps the Willoughby community going. We talk about all our daily specials that we have going on at both our bars and the coffee shop. We talk about anyone that might have passed away. We give shout outs to other businesses, mainly all of our friends. And we're friends with mostly everyone in town, so we give shout outs there. So if you're at home and you're watching this, go on Facebook and like our thing, Beer with the Lads. Even though we don't do it as much, like during the COVID, we were doing it up to 3 times a week.
Yeah.
And we had so many people just talking about it. And now, even still, people are like, "Man, they haven't seen an episode of Beer with the Lads." So we did one about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. So we're gonna do another one. It's just a great way to tie in the community and also promote our businesses.
I think the biggest challenge right now is just kind of finding out what the new normal is. When we shut down, they did a big road construction here in downtown Willoughby in the month of February. We took that as a good opportunity to close down the Morehouse and rebrand ourselves as the Irish pub and dive into the Irish roots that we always wanted to bring back. And we opened up right in the first week of March. Everything was going great, and then then COVID hit. And I think the toughest thing for us right now is just trying to find a new normal, trying to follow the guidelines to the best of our ability, trying to make sure that the customers are following the guidelines. That's the toughest thing for us, because not only were we restaurant owners, and maybe our job before was getting you your food and your drink and making sure you enjoyed everything. Now our job is also, on top of that, we're making sure you're sitting down, we're making sure you're not getting close to new people, we're making sure all that stuff. We got to limit the amount of people we could have in here, so they're adding more job responsibilities to us. It's kind of tough for us to make sure that everybody wants to follow those rules exactly.
As far as us in the restaurant business, before COVID hit, our goal was here, right? At Nora's.
Yeah.
When we had the Morehouse did good. We wanted to change, going back to earlier talking about our heritage, and we've always wanted an Irish pub again. We wanted to do something, and we loved, and we talked about, okay, well, the Wild Goose and Morehouse, do we switch one of them? And we love the idea of this place because of the brick walls and the wooden floors and whatnot. So we that was our biggest goal, is okay, how can we do this? How can we change? But people that knew us knew that we wanted to do that for a long time. And when we made the change, we couldn't have been more happier. And we're still not done. We're still waiting. Our sign will be done out front. We got our awning approval yesterday. And then on March 15th is when they closed us. But every day, John, we were averaging over a keg of Guinness a day. And then the wheels were rolling. We had the Premier League in the mornings and all the brunch going, and it felt good. And it was colder then too, though. So you had that coziness of the pub. And then when COVID hit, it put everything to a halt. Now, like McPat said, just the new normal. We're just trying to figure out how to get back there. And it's tough right now, but I really think we will get back. I think people wanted to get back.